Hi students, St. Bergman's Higher Secondary School, the Center of Excellence and Enrichment, welcomes you to the Communicative English class. In this class, we are going to learn all about direct and indirect speech or reported speech. We will look at converting the sentences, statement from direct to indirect speech. There are lots of examples and exercises throughout the video for you to learn. So let's get started. So what do you mean by direct and indirect speech? Well, these are two ways of saying what someone else said in the past. For example, last weekend some friends and I were planning to go to see a movie, but one friend then couldn't join us. Ben said, "I have a dental appointment this evening," meaning he has to go to the dentist, so he couldn't come with us. Now here I am repeating Ben's words exactly or directly without making any changes. This is called direct speech. But we do not always repeat the other person's words exactly because the words are not important, the message is important. So we can say it like this: Ben said that he had a dental appointment that evening. Ben said that he had a dental appointment that evening. This form is called indirect speech. It's also called reported speech because, like a news reporter, we are reporting the other person's words. Now I want you to notice a couple of differences between the direct and indirect sentences. When we write direct speech, we always put quotation marks around the original words. When we write direct speech, we always put quotation marks around the original words. This is to show we are repeating the words exactly without any change. But in indirect speech, we don't use quotation marks. The second point is the word that. This is used in indirect speech, but it is never used to direct speech. Now in informal situation, we can often leave it out in the reported speech like this: Ben said he had a dental appointment that evening. Ben said he had a dental appointment that evening. But in formal situation, don't leave it out that. There are two basic differences. So now let's talk about how to convert a sentence from direct to indirect speech. There are 3 steps to do that. The first one, change the pronouns, backshift the tense, change the time and place expressions. In the example, you see the pronoun I in direct speech has become he in the reported sentence. He refers to Ben. This is the first step. Next, the verb has changed from have to had. When Ben spoke, his words were in the present tense. But now, when we report those words, we change them to the past tense. This is called back shifting. That is shifting the tense back to the past. And we also see that this evening, which is a time expression, has become that evening. These are the 3 main changes that make when we covering a sentence from direct to indirect speech. Alright, let's now practice doing these steps with the exercise. The first one, Sarah said, "I drink black coffee every morning." Sarah said, "I drink black coffee every morning." How do we change this to indirect speech? Yes, Sarah said she drinks black coffee every morning. Sarah said she drinks black coffee every morning. I becomes she. That's step number 1. Change the pronoun. And drink, which is in the present simple tense, becomes drank past simple. This is the second step, backshift the tense. There are no time for place expression here, so we don't need step 3. Okay, let's move on to sentence number 2. Naveen said, "I am learning to play guitar." Naveen said, "I am learning to play guitar." How do you change this? Yeah, Navin said that he was learning to play the guitar. I changes to he. I am learning present continuous tense changes to was learning past continuous tense. Next sentence. My son is graduating next week, she said with great excitement. We see the reporting clause, she said with great excitement, at the end of the sentence. This is very common. So how would you change this? When we change a sentence to indirect speech, we almost always put that reporting clause at the beginning. She said with great excitement that my son become her son, and we backshift the tense. So my son is graduating becomes my son was graduating, and next week is a time expression. We can either say the next week or the following week. So it can be said, she said with great excitement that her son was graduating the next week or the following week. And the next example, I quit my job a week ago, he confessed to his wife. So how do we change it? He confessed to his wife that he had quit his job a week before. Notice that in the direct quote, the verb is already in the past simple tense, quit. When we backshift a past simple tense verb, it changes to the past perfect, had quit. And ago changes to before in indirect speech. That's just a rule. Okay, next sentence. Hema didn't come to work yesterday, the manager told me. Hema didn't come to work yesterday, the manager told me. Try to change it. The answer is, the manager told me that Hema hadn't come to work. The manager told me that Hema hadn't come to work. Didn't come is past simple negative, which changes to hadn't come, past perfect. Then we have yesterday, which becomes either the previous day or the day before. Both are correct. So, the manager told me that Hema hadn't come to work the previous day or the day before. And the next sentence is, the kid told his parents, I was watching TV and the power went out. The kid told his parents, I was watching TV and the power went out. How do you change it? Yes, the kid told his parents that he had been watching TV and the power had gone out. Was watching past continuous. It gets back shifted to the past perfect continuous. Had been watching. And the power went out is past simple. It becomes the power had gone out. And the next one, I have seen the movie 3 times already. I explained. And what is the indirect speech? Yes, I explained that I had seen the movie 3 times already. I explained that I had seen the movie 3 times already. Have seen becomes had seen. That means we change the verb from present perfect to past perfect when are backshifted. Next sentence, I will pick you up at the airport tomorrow, he promised. And the indirect speech is, he promised that he would pick me up at the airport the next day or the following day. Here we see the modal verb will has been changed to the past form, would. I would like to buy this necklace, she told the shop assistant. Here the modal verb is would, used already a past form, and there is no way to backshift it. There is no past perfect for modal verbs. So we just say in indirect speech, she told the assistant that she would like to buy the or that necklace. Okay, the next sentence. The girl said, my brother and I are going to have pizza tonight. This one is a little tricky. We start with the girl said that. And then we have my brother and I was becomes she and her brother. Only with I we put the other person first. My brother and I, my friend and I, John and I, etc. But with other pronouns we put the pronoun first. She and her brother are going to becomes were going to. Now if we had or is going, we would change that to was going to. But here we have are and that becomes were. Tonight becomes the night. So the girl said that she and her brother were going to have pizza that night. The girl said that she and her brother were going to have pizza that night. Okay, in indirect speech, can becomes could, may it becomes might, must can either stay the same or you can say had to. But if you have mustn't in the sentence, then you have to say mustn't. Should is already the past tense of shall, so we leave it unchanged. Okay, dear students, this is all about direct speech and indirect speech or reported speech. Okay, let's meet again in the next class. Until then, bye. Thank you.